There is a rhythm to the universe, an unseen current flowing beneath all things, and when you learn to move with that current, everything you need begins to find you effortlessly. Money is not something you chase, it is something you attract by the power of your vibration. Your energy is your invitation to the universe, and whatever you vibrate, you call forth. Many souls spend their lives reaching, striving, pushing against the walls of circumstance, wondering why abundance seems to slip through their fingers. But money does not respond to struggle, it responds to certainty. It listens to the quiet assurance that says, I am provided for. When you shift your energy from need to knowing, from fear to faith, from grasping to gratitude, the flow of money begins to seek you as naturally as rivers run toward the sea. You must remember that words are not idle sounds, they are forces. Each word carries a vibration that molds the invisible. When you declare, I am prosperous, the universe rearranges itself to prove you right. When you say, I can't afford this, you decree limitation upon your path. Speak as though the abundance is already yours, for in truth it already is. The substance of wealth exists in the unseen, awaiting your alignment. The secret lies not in struggle, but in surrender, not in forcing, but in flowing. The law of non-resistance is your greatest ally. When you stop fearing lack, lack loses its grip. When you stop condemning money, money loses its power to escape you. When you bless the wealth you see in others, you magnetize that blessing to yourself. To resist nothing is to open the door to everything. Be thankful now, not later. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a vibration. The one who is grateful before the evidence appears has already tuned into abundance. Give thanks for the coins in your hand, and they will multiply into rivers of gold. The universe echoes your emotion. What you appreciate, appreciates. See yourself surrounded by abundance. Use your imagination not as a playground for words, but as a sanctuary for creation. Picture yourself living in peace, giving freedom, joyfully. What you see inwardly, you will soon walk through outwardly. Your imagination is the blueprint, and faith is the builder. Faith, that unseen certainty, is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is not a timid hope, but a divine knowing. Faith says, it is done, even while appearances seem contrary. When your heart holds that vibration, the universe rearranges circumstances, people, and opportunities to deliver what belongs to you. Money loves direction. It seeks purpose. Ask yourself, why do I desire wealth? When your purpose is aligned with good, when your desire includes blessing others, creating beauty, and expanding joy, the universe supplies the means. Money becomes your servant, not your master. Let go of old wounds, for resentment blocks prosperity. Every unforgiven memory is a knot in your energy field. Release the past, and the flow of divine supply will rush in to fill the space you've freed. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is spiritual power, the cleansing that allows new blessings to enter. Trust the timing. Divine order is never late. What is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant to stay. When your energy is aligned with peace, not panic, you create an atmosphere where prosperity can recognize you. The universe delivers in perfect sequence, and above all, live in joy. Joy is the highest frequency of wealth. It is the music the universe loves to dance to. When you laugh, when you create, when you radiate happiness, you emit the signal that says, I am already rich in spirit, and life responds in kind, sending money, opportunities, and miracles to match your vibration. Align your energy, and you will discover that money was never lost. It was waiting for you to rise into its frequency. The supply has always been there. The river of prosperity has always been flowing. You need only step into its current with faith, gratitude, and joy, and then watch how swiftly abundance recognizes its rightful owner. Everything begins in the invisible realm of vibration, because before a single coin appears in your hand or a door of opportunity opens in your life, the energy that draws it must first be born within you. Nothing in this world happens by accident. Every dollar, every chance, every miracle begins as unseen frequency pulsing from the thoughts and feelings you hold within your heart. The moment you decide to tune yourself to the rhythm of abundance, you stop chasing money and begin attracting it like a magnet that silently pulls what belongs to it. You must understand that life itself is not responding to your words alone. It responds to the energy behind them. It listens not to what you say, but to what you truly feel. For feelings are the language of the universe, and your emotion is the signature that tells creation what to send your way. When you vibrate with faith, joy, confidence, gratitude, you are signaling to the divine field that you are ready to receive every good thing that is already yours. When a person lives in fear of lack, they emit a frequency of scarcity, and that frequency repels prosperity because two different vibrations cannot occupy the same space. You cannot send out worry and expect wealth. You cannot hold the vibration of doubt and expect doors of opportunity to open. Life mirrors your dominant vibration. It is a law as unbreakable as gravity. So if you desire to experience abundance, you must first become abundance within your own consciousness. Begin each day by declaring silently to yourself that you are connected to an infinite source that never runs dry, that your supply comes not from a paycheck, not from a bank, not even from another person, but from the endless current of divine energy that flows through all things. As you do this, something begins to shift within your atmosphere. You start to feel lighter, freer, more confident, and that new feeling becomes your new vibration. The universe is like an echo chamber. It reflects back to you the signal you send. If your energy is filled with fear, frustration, and disbelief, you are sending static out into that chamber, and static cannot return as clear manifestation. But when you calm your mind and lift your thoughts toward faith, gratitude, and joy, you begin to broadcast a strong, clear signal that says, I am ready, I am open, I am deserving of all good things. Money begins to find its way toward you through unexpected channels, through new people, through ideas and moments of inspiration that lead to success. Sometimes the way it comes is so natural, you might not even realize that it was your vibration that called it forth until you look back and see how every step aligned perfectly. There is a divine intelligence behind everything you see, and that intelligence is always responding to your energetic tone. When you are tense or fearful, you are out of tune with it. Like a radio that cannot catch the right station, you hear noise instead of music. But the moment your heart begins to play again, the harmony of life starts moving in your favor. Money is part of that harmony. It is energy made visible. It wants to circulate. It wants to move to those who are aligned with its rhythm. When you understand this, you no longer feel anxious about money, because you know that by adjusting your vibration, you can always call more of it into your experience. The true work is not about effort, but alignment. Every thought you hold carries a frequency. A thought of gratitude sends out a high frequency, while a thought of fear or guilt sends out a low one. The higher your frequency, the faster money can find you. The lower your frequency, the more blocked your path becomes. That is why it is so important to guard your mind from the heavy emotions that drag your vibration downward. Whenever you catch yourself worrying, say to yourself, I release this thought. It does not serve me. I now tune into the energy of abundance. By doing this, you are shifting your state in real time. You are turning the dial from scarcity to supply, from limitation to overflow. Think of yourself as a living magnet. Your vibration is your magnetic field. If your field is filled with fear and self-doubt, it will push prosperity away. But when your field is filled with love, gratitude, confidence, and joy, it begins to pull opportunities that match its frequency. It is not about pretending that life is perfect. It is about choosing to hold your energy steady, even when appearances suggest otherwise. When challenges arise, do not say, why is this happening to me? Instead, say, what lesson or growth is this moment bringing me? For that attitude keeps you aligned with flow instead of resistance. And when you stop resisting, the universe starts assisting. Money does not come from force, it comes from flow. Those who chase it with desperation find it running faster. Those who walk with calm assurance find it flowing toward them like a river seeking the sea. The secret is to keep your inner energy open like a channel through which divine supply can move. Do not close that channel with complaint or bitterness. Bless every dollar you have. Bless every bill you pay. Bless every person who prospers around you. And by blessing, you align your frequency with the current of generosity. That money follows when you feel like you are saying, I am separate from the source. When you feel gratitude, you are saying, I am one with it, and it is through oneness that supply is revealed. Energy alignment also requires trust, because doubt is the greatest interrupter of flow. When you doubt, you place a barrier between yourself and what you desire. Trust removes that barrier. It tells the universe, I believe even before I see. I know that supply is on its way, and I am ready to receive. When you live in that kind of faith, unseen forces begin to move mountains for you. People appear at the right time. Ideas sparkle in your mind, and situations unfold that seem almost miraculous. That is not coincidence, it is vibration meeting opportunity and divine timing. Begin to observe the energy you bring into every situation, because life mirrors it. If you walk into your day feeling rushed and anxious, you will meet resistance. But if you enter with calm assurance and silent gratitude, you will notice how people respond differently, how doors open, how coincidences line up. This is not magic, it is spiritual science, and every person can learn to use it. Money is not a reward, it is a reflection of the energy you emit. When you honor that law, you stop asking, when will I get more, and start affirming, I am already surrounded by abundance. That simple shift in awareness lifts your vibration higher than hours of forced effort. Ever could. The invisible realm is not far away. It is right here, right now. It is the field of potential surrounding you, waiting for your vibration to give it shape. Everything you will ever need already exists in that field. It is not about creating from nothing. It is about tuning yourself to the frequency where that something already lives. When your vibration is clear, when your heart is open, when your faith is steady, money has no choice but to find you, because it is drawn to the energy that reflects its own flow. Abundance recognizes itself. It rushes toward those who vibrate in harmony with it. So learn to feel abundant before you see abundance. Learn to think richly before you touch riches, and learn to speak prosperity before it arrives. For the energy you hold today becomes the experience you live tomorrow. When your vibration aligns with the divine rhythm of supply, you become an open channel through which money flows freely, joyfully, endlessly. And that flow, once begun, never ceases, because it is the eternal language of the universe, answering the song of your soul. Your words carry creative power, because each syllable you speak is charged with the energy of your belief and emotion. Words are not mere sounds, they are vibrations that travel through the unseen realms, shaping the conditions of your life. Every thought you give voice to becomes a command to the universe. Every phrase you repeat becomes a decree that molds reality. The moment you say, I am blessed, I am abundant, I am surrounded by wealth, you send a signal to the infinite intelligence that governs all things. And that intelligence begins arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to match your declaration. The invisible responds to the visible language of faith, and the tone of your voice carries the energy of your conviction. When you speak from fear, your words echo emptiness. But when you speak from faith, your words move mountains unseen. Your words are spiritual instruments. They are the keys that open or close doors to your destiny, and every word you speak is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious mind. If you plant seeds of worry and lack, you will harvest situations that mirror those feelings. But if you plant words of prosperity, confidence, and peace, your harvest will overflow with blessings that reflect your vibration. The universe listens to the music of your speech and plays it back to you through the events of your life. That is why those who constantly affirm scarcity continue to experience it, and those who affirm abundance attract it effortlessly. Your words are magnetic. They draw toward you everything that vibrates in harmony with the thoughts behind them. To align your energy with abundance, you must begin by transforming your language. Eliminate phrases of limitation from your vocabulary. Stop saying, I can't afford this, or money never stays with me. Stop repeating stories of struggle, for every repetition is a reinforcement of lack. Instead, speak words of faith and gratitude. Declare with certainty that divine supply is already flowing into your life. Say aloud that you are guided to prosperity. Say that money loves you and flows to you with ease. Say that every bill you receive is already paid in full by the abundance of the universe. Speak these words not as wishful thinking, but as spiritual truth, and watch how the world begins to shift to accommodate your faith. The spoken word is creative because it sets vibration into motion. When you speak with feeling, you ignite the law of cause and effect. Your words become causes, and your experiences become their effects. What you speak about, you bring about. That is why ancient wisdom teaches that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words can breathe life into your dreams or suffocate them with doubt. Each time you declare something positive, you are building an energetic structure that supports your prosperity. But each time you complain or criticize, you tear down the walls of your abundance. The tongue is a double-edged sword, and you must choose which side you wield, the side of faith or the side of fear. There is a sacred rhythm to your speech. When you speak slowly with conviction, your words carry authority. When you speak with gratitude, they carry grace. And when you speak with joy, they carry magnetic power. Say thank you for the money already in your possession. Thank you for the opportunities on their way. Thank you for the unseen blessings forming behind the curtain of reality. This vibration of thanks amplifies the creative force of your words. Gratitude makes your affirmations fertile because it aligns your heart with the divine current of supply. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It never sleeps. It accepts every statement you make as truth, and then sets out to manifest it in your outer world. If you constantly say, "I am broke," your subconscious obediently creates situations that reflect that belief. If you say, "Money comes to me in unexpected ways," your subconscious becomes a magnet for opportunities to confirm that statement. It does not distinguish between truth and falsehood. It only acts on repetition and feeling. That is why affirmation is not just a ritual, it is reprogramming. It is the conscious redirection of energy from lack toward abundance. The greatest secret is to speak from the end result, not from the present conditions. Speak as though you already have what you desire. When you say, "I am wealthy," even if your pockets are empty, you are speaking from the vibration of completion. The universe responds to that vibration by bringing your physical world into alignment with your words. You are not lying to yourself. You are declaring a higher truth, a truth that exists beyond appearances, because everything first exists in the invisible before it becomes visible. By holding your words in alignment with that invisible truth, you accelerate the manifestation process. Do not underestimate the power of silence, either, because silence between your words gives them strength. It is in the quiet space of faith that your declarations are received and multiplied. Sometimes you must speak once with certainty, and then rest in the assurance that your words are working behind the scenes. Faith does not beg or plead. Faith declares and allows. So speak with power. Then trust the vibration to fulfill itself. Let your daily language become a ritual of alignment. Every morning before you meet the world, affirm that you are surrounded by prosperity, that opportunities are chasing you, that money loves your energy and is drawn to your light. Throughout the day, guard your tongue. When tempted to complain, transform that moment into gratitude. When tempted to doubt, transform that moment into faith. Soon you will notice how your environment begins to echo your words, how people treat you differently, how doors begin to open. It is not coincidence, it is creation. Words are the bridges between the unseen and the seen. They are the tools by which spirit becomes form. When your words are soaked in faith and spoken with love, travel through the ether, gathering substance until they return to you as tangible experiences of abundance. Every success story begins with a spoken declaration. Someone said, "I will," and the universe replied, "Yes, you will." So choose your words with sacred care, because you are writing your financial destiny. Every time you speak, the energy that aligns with your words becomes your reality. Speak abundance, speak peace, speak gratitude, speak life, and money will find you, because your vibration will match the frequency of divine supply, and nothing in the universe can resist the command of a soul that speaks from faith. The law of non-resistance opens the gate, because what you fight against you strengthen, and what you bless you release. Every time you resist a condition, you give it more energy. Every time you struggle against lack, you reinforce the vibration of lack, and every time you surrender your worry and choose peace, you open the invisible channels through which money can flow. Resistance is a form of fear. It is the energy of pushing against, and the universe cannot deliver blessings into clenched fists. The more tightly you hold on to how things must happen, the less room you give for divine supply to move freely. When you relax and trust that all is unfolding in divine order, you become a clear vessel through which abundance rushes in. You have been taught to fight for everything, to push, to strive, to hustle, to earn. But the truth is that abundance does not come through strain, it comes Through alignment, you are not here to chase after money, you are here to align with the current that already contains it. The more you resist, the slower the flow becomes. Picture a stream of clear water. When you stir it constantly, you cloud it with mud, but when you leave it still, it clears on its own. Your mind is that stream. When you stop stirring it with worry and fear, the flow of good becomes visible again. The law of non-resistance is the art of stillness in motion. It is doing your work with peace, not panic. It is acting without attachment to results. It is trusting that what you need will meet you at the right time and in the right way. Resistance hides itself in subtle ways. It shows up as frustration when things move slowly. It appears as anger when money seems delayed. It hides in impatience and doubt. Yet each of those feelings sends out the signal of distrust toward divine order, and that signal blocks the circulation of prosperity. Money, like all energy, needs an open circuit to flow. If you fear its absence or resent its delay, you close the circuit and the flow stops. But if you release your grip and say, I trust the universe to provide everything I need in perfect timing, you open the circuit again, and money begins to return, often from unexpected directions. There is immense power in letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up, it means surrendering the struggle. It means affirming that you are supported even when you do not yet see the evidence. When you practice non-resistance, you become like air, able to receive and circulate whatever moves through you. Life stops feeling heavy because you are no longer fighting with it. The more you accept the moment as it is, the faster it transforms. What you resist persists, what you accept dissolves. This is the sacred paradox of creation. Think of a gardener who plants a seed. The gardener does not dig it up every few hours to see if it has grown. He waters it. He trusts the process. He allows the soil to do its work. That patience is non-resistance. And the same principle applies to money. When you have done your part, when you have set your intentions and taken inspired action, your next task is to let go of worry and allow the invisible forces to complete what you began. Every anxious thought is like digging up the seed before it can sprout, but faith is the quiet assurance that the roots are growing even in darkness. Non-resistant also means blessing the things you once cursed. When you see someone prospering, instead of feeling jealousy, bless their success, for that act aligns your vibration with abundance. When you bless another's wealth, you are telling the universe there is enough for all. And what you bless, you draw nearer yourself. When you stop condemning money as evil or difficult, you remove the energetic wall that keeps it away from you. Money is neither good nor bad. It is neutral energy shaped by the consciousness of the one who holds it. When you view it with love and respect, it begins to view you the same way. Practice of non-resistance is not passive, it is deeply active. It is a spiritual discipline to stay calm when appearances seem contrary to your desire, to hold faith when everything around you urges fear. It is choosing to breathe peace into chaos and certainty into doubt. It is knowing that your inner calm is stronger than outer storms, and that no circumstance can dominate a mind that has chosen alignment. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you are teaching the universe that you are ready to handle greater blessings, and those blessings begin to appear naturally. Imagine your energy field as a wide river. The moment you resist, you create dams that block its flow. Those dams are built of fear, judgment, resentment, and control. The moment you forgive, release, and trust, those barriers dissolve, and the current moves freely again. The river carries everything you desire, but it cannot reach you if you build walls around yourself with negative emotion. So begin each day by saying, I let go, I allow, I trust the divine flow of life to bring me all that is mine. And as you repeat it, feel your shoulders relax, feel your breath deepen, feel the weight of striving fall away. What follows that state? Effortless manifestation. Money responds to openness. It seeks peace. It is naturally drawn to minds that do not cling or grasp, because non-resistance signals abundance and security. When you are calm, you are in control of vibration. When you are frantic, you are in control of nothing. Money senses that vibration. It flows towards serenity and flees from chaos. When you trust the process, you tell the universe that you are aligned with its rhythm, and in return, it rewards your calm with provision. You will find that opportunities appear smoothly. People reach out. Help arrives at the exact moment you need it, all because you stopped trying to force and began allowing. The more you practice non-resistance, the more miracles become ordinary. You start noticing that life is always arranging itself for your highest good. Even the delays become divine protection. Even the losses reveal hidden gifts. When you live this way, you no longer measure abundance only by what you hold, but by the peace you feel. You realize that prosperity is not something to win, but something to flow with. The gate to that flow was never locked. It was simply waiting for you to stop pushing and start trusting. And the moment you surrender, the gate swings open, and the river of money and blessings rushes to meet you. Because it always wanted to find you, you simply had to stop standing in its way. Gratitude multiplies what you already have, because every thankful thought is a signal to the universe that you recognize abundance. And whatever you recognize expands. Gratitude is the vibration of receivership. It is the energy that says, I see the good I have, and I welcome more. It transforms the smallest things into treasures, and the ordinary into miracles. Gratitude is not something you practice only when life is easy. It is the secret key that turns struggle into strength and scarcity into supply. When you begin to thank life for what is already in your hands, you tell creation that you are ready to handle more, that you can be trusted with greater blessings, because you have learned to see beauty even in little things. Ungrateful heart closes itself to miracles, but the grateful heart becomes a magnet for them. Every feeling you send out is a command to the universe, and gratitude is the highest of those commands. It vibrates with joy, peace, and love, and those vibrations attract experiences that match their frequency. The one who complains sends out resistance and draws more reasons to complain, but the one who gives thanks sends out acceptance and draws more reasons to celebrate. The law of life is simple, like attracts. Like when you focus on what is missing, you create more emptiness. But when you focus on what is present, you create expansion. The moment you wake up and give thanks for breath, for light, for another chance to create something beautiful, you begin your day on the same frequency that abundance lives on. Gratitude is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing which reality to energize. You may have bills waiting, yet if you give thanks for the ability to pay them, you shift your vibration from fear to faith. You may have little money in your account, but if you bless the small amount you have and say thank you for this symbol of divine circulation, you open the door for more to enter. Gratitude is a spiritual magnet. It multiplies through acknowledgement. What you appreciate appreciates. It grows because energy flows toward attention. There are people who wait for big blessings before they feel thankful, and there are those who feel thankful before big blessings arrive. And it is the second group that the universe favors. The grateful before abundance are those who understand the secret of manifestation. Because they live in the end result, they behave as if the good has already come, and that vibration calls the unseen into being. When you say thank you even before your dream appears, you are sending faith into the invisible, and faith is the energy that shapes matter. Gratitude also cleanses your mind of complaint and comparison. Those two thieves of joy keep people trapped in cycles of lack. When you compare yourself with others, you lose sight of the gifts that are uniquely yours. When you complain, you reinforce what you do not want. But when you practice gratitude, you break the pattern of negativity and raise your vibration instantly. You begin to notice how much you truly have, and that awareness turns into peace. Peace becomes confidence, and confidence becomes the fertile ground from which prosperity grows. Even in moments of difficulty, gratitude can transform your state. It can turn tears into wisdom and delay into direction. When something seems lost, say thank you for the lesson that is being revealed. Thank you for the space that is being cleared for something greater, because that very act of thankfulness lifts you above the vibration of loss. It reminds the universe that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a conscious co-creator of life. And the universe always blesses those who bless it back. Begin small. Start with what is right in front of you. You thank your home for shelter, thank your body for carrying you, thank the food on your table, thank the people who love you, and even those who challenge you, for both play a role in your growth. As you do this daily, you begin to feel lighter, freer, more connected. Your heart expands and your energy becomes magnetic. It draws kind people, generous opportunities, and financial blessings toward you, because the energy of gratitude and the energy of money are deeply intertwined. Both are about circulation. Both are about acknowledging flow. The more gratitude you feel, the more money wants to pass through you because it feels safe in your vibration. Gratitude also transforms how you view giving and receiving. When you give with a thankful heart, You are affirming that you have enough to share, and that affirmation keeps the river of supply open. When you receive with thankfulness, you close the loop of abundance, completing the circuit that allows more to return. Giving and receiving are not opposites, they are two sides of the same flow, and gratitude is the current that connects them. Without gratitude, giving becomes obligation and receiving becomes guilt. But with gratitude, both become joy. The truly grateful person lives in constant miracles. They are surrounded by beauty because their eyes have learned to see it. They attract success because their energy radiates trust and ease. They find money appearing at the right moments, not because they are lucky, but because they are aligned with the vibration that money loves. Gratitude makes you magnetic. It tells the universe that you already dwell in abundance, and the universe can only mirror back that truth. So each day, lift your heart in silent thanks. Thank the sunlight that touches your face. Thank the lessons that strengthen your faith. Thank the challenges that polish your soul. Thank every dollar that passes through your hands and bless it as it moves to do good in the world. Live in this vibration and watch as your outer world transforms. Money will begin to come more easily. People will appear to assist you. New doors will open because you have aligned your energy with divine circulation. Gratitude is the highest form of prayer. It is the language the universe understands best. It multiplies everything it touches. And when you practice it sincerely, you discover that you are never waiting for abundance. Abundance was waiting for you to say thank you. Imagination is the workshop of manifestation, because everything that ever appeared in the physical world first existed as an image in the mind. Every building, every invention, every fortune began as an invisible picture held by someone who dared to believe in it before it took form. Imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the divine instrument through which the unseen becomes seen. It is the canvas on which you paint the world you wish to inhabit, and the universe responds to that image as if it were already real. When you imagine with emotion and faith, you impress that vision upon the invisible substance of creation, and that substance rearranges itself to reflect what you have imagined. Your imagination is your bridge between spirit and matter. It is where creation begins. The greatest mistake people make is to use imagination against themselves. They picture failure. They rehearse fear. They visualize unpaid bills and then wonder why those very conditions appear in their lives. But the law of life does not discriminate. It simply reproduces the images impressed upon it. Whether born of fear or faith, the universe does not ask if your picture is good or bad. It simply takes it as your command and brings it to life. That is why you must guard your imagination as sacred territory. Fill it with images of beauty, abundance, and joy, because those images are seeds that grow into your experience. Close your eyes and picture yourself already living in the state you desire. See yourself surrounded by comfort, ease, and joy. Feel the weight of worry lifting from your shoulders. See your bank account full, your home radiant, your life filled with harmony and peace. When you do this, you are not pretending. You are creating the vibration of that reality within your own consciousness, and since vibration attracts vibration, the outer world will begin to align with your inner picture. It may begin subtly through new ideas or unexpected opportunities, but the more you hold the image, the clearer the path becomes. Imagination works through repetition and feeling. It is not enough to daydream without emotion. You must feel your vision as though it were happening right now, because feeling is what gives it life. When you imagine prosperity and at the same time feel gratitude and joy, your subconscious mind accepts that picture as truth and begins moving every invisible thread to bring it into being. Every encounter, every coincidence, every intuitive nudge becomes part of that orchestration. Imagination fused with faith becomes creation. Imagination without faith remains a wish. Every night before you sleep and every morning before you rise are sacred windows. When your mind is most open during these moments, impress your imagination with scenes of abundance. Speak softly to yourself in the language of certainty. Picture light flowing around you. Picture yourself giving freely, receiving easily, walking through life with peace in your heart. Those mental images are not wasted. They are spiritual investments. Each one plants energy into the unseen field where matter is formed. The more consistently you visualize, the faster that energy gathers into visible form. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between real experience and vividly imagined experience. That is why imagination is such a powerful tool. If you picture lack, it will treat it as truth. If you picture abundance, it will treat it as truth. and shape your outer world to match the vibration you most often imagine. So, instead of replaying memories of hardship, begin to replay visions of success. See yourself as someone who always has enough, who gives without fear and receives without guilt. See money flowing in with ease and flowing out with purpose. Each time you hold that image, you rewrite the energetic story of your life. Imagination is also the path to inspiration, because when you allow yourself to dream, new ideas flow effortlessly. Divine intelligence speaks to you through pictures and feelings that rise within the quiet of your mind. The greatest opportunities appear as sudden flashes of imagination that feel joyful and alive. Those moments are not random, they are guidance, they are the universe whispering, yes, this way, follow this light. When you honor those flashes with faith and action, you step into the stream of divine creation, where miracles become ordinary. Do not worry about how your vision will come to pass. Imagination is not about controlling details. It is about holding the essence of what you desire. When you picture yourself prosperous, you do not need to know whether the money comes through a new business, a job, a gift, or an idea. The universe has infinite ways to fulfill your image. Your task is to keep the vision clear and the emotion strong. The how is not your domain. The alignment is keep your inner world focused, and your outer world will follow in perfect timing. Imagination also heals the wounds of the past because it allows you to rewrite your internal story. If you once struggled with lack, picture yourself now as abundant and secure. If you once felt unworthy, picture yourself walking confidently in divine favor. This new picture will overwrite the old one, because light always dissolves darkness. As you practice this daily, your subconscious begins to accept the new identity, and life mirrors it back to you. Opportunities you could not have imagined begin to appear. People who vibrate on your new frequency enter your world. The outer reflection follows the inner revision. The truth is that you are never limited by circumstances. You are limited only by imagination. The wealth you desire, the peace you crave, the joy you seek, all exist already in the field of infinite potential. Your imagination is the doorway through which you enter that field. When you dare to see yourself already, there you bridge the gap between desire and fulfillment, and money, like all energy, begins to flow toward the image you hold with faith and emotion. So keep your inner picture radiant and alive. Walk each day in the vibration of that image, and soon you will find that what was once a vision within your mind has stepped forward into the light of your everyday reality. Words carry the weight of creation, for every word you speak is a seed sown into the garden of the universe. And that garden never fails to return what you plant. When you speak of lack, you command lack. When you speak of abundance, you invite abundance. Words are not mere sounds. They are vibrations that echo through the field of energy, shaping the invisible substance into visible form. Every statement you make about yourself, your finances, your life is a decree that the universe fulfills without hesitation. Therefore, speak only that which you wish to see brought to life, because the law does not judge or question. It obeys your vibration, and your words are the most direct expression of that vibration. When you say, I never have enough money, you anchor your energy in lack. When you say, money flows to me easily and freely, you align yourself with the rhythm of abundance. The difference is not in circumstance, but in consciousness, because your outer world is the mirror of your inner declaration. Many people speak defeat without realizing it. They call themselves broke, they joke about struggle, they speak worry into existence, and then they wonder why prosperity seems to avoid them. But the universe is always listening, and words spoken repeatedly with feeling become the pattern that energy must follow. You must learn the sacred art of commanding your reality through language, for words charged with faith have creative power. When you speak affirmations, you are not trying to convince the universe, you are reminding it of its divine design. To respond to belief, say aloud that money finds you. Say it until it feels natural, until your heart beats in harmony with that statement, because the moment your words and emotions agree, creation begins instantly. The unseen forces start arranging people, events, and opportunities to fulfill what you have spoken for in the realm of spirit. There is no delay between word and manifestation. Only in the physical world does time appear, but even there the process is already in motion. Be mindful of idle speech, for every careless word carries energy. When you gossip, complain, or speak of failure, you drain your creative force. When you bless, praise, and affirm Good, you multiply it tenfold. Speak words that build instead of break, words that heal instead of harm. When you bless another's prosperity, you magnetize your own, because what you give in vibration returns. Amplified words of gratitude open the floodgates of divine supply, for gratitude is the highest form of positive declaration. Say often, thank you that money flows easily into my life. Thank you that every need is met. Thank you that I live under divine abundance. These words lift your vibration above fear and align you with the limitless flow. Never speak against yourself or your dreams, for subconscious mind accepts every statement you make as truth. It does not distinguish between humor and sincerity. If you repeatedly say, I can't afford it, your subconscious believes you and ensures you stay in that state to make your words true instead. Even when appearances contradict, you speak. Though your wealth already exists, say, I am richly supplied, I am surrounded by opportunity, I am the magnet for divine prosperity. And though your senses may argue, your faith will quietly begin to rearrange the invisible currents around you until the truth of your words stands undeniable. Your spoken word is your wand. It directs universal energy toward the picture you hold within. If you speak with fear, the wand trembles and your power scatters. If you speak with conviction, the wand glows and energy obeys instantly. Your word is divine authority in action, for you are made in the image of Creator, whose word brought worlds into being. When you say, let there be light, light appears. When you say, let there be prosperity, prosperity begins its march toward you. Speak, therefore, as one who knows their power, not as one who doubts it, and watch the universe rise to fulfill your decree. The key is consistency. One declaration made once in doubt has little strength, but a word repeated daily with faith becomes a living vibration pulsing through every cell of your being. It becomes identity, and identity becomes reality. Repeat your affirmations morning and night. Say them aloud with energy. Let your voice carry the certainty of truth, for sound amplifies intention, and intention, backed by belief, moves mountains. Say, I am the channel through which divine money flows. I am aligned with abundance. I give generously. I receive joyfully. And every corner of your world will begin to reflect that vibration. Do not allow others to infect your atmosphere with negative speech. If someone speaks of lack, answer with a blessing. Speak words of possibility instead of despair. When you do this, you become a light in darkness. Your energy begins to uplift those around you, and in turn, their gratitude magnifies your own prosperity. For words have a ripple effect. What you say not only shapes your world, but touches the world of others, and the universe always rewards the one who speaks light into darkness, even in moments of trial. Keep your words anchored in faith. Do not describe what you see, but declare what you desire. If bills arrive, bless them as evidence that you are part of the divine exchange. Say, money returns to me multiplied. Thank you for this opportunity to expand in abundance and joy. When you meet challenge, do not speak defeat, speak dominion, for every spoken word either strengthens or weakens you. Energy. The more you choose strength, the more the universe delivers proof of your power. So let your mouth become a fountain of abundance. Let every word you speak pour forth as a blessing upon your life and the lives of others. The one who learns to command their tongue commands their destiny, because speech is spirit in motion, and spirit knows no limitation. Your wealth, your freedom, your peace, they are all waiting for you to speak them into being, for the universe stands ready listening for your decree. And when your word and your faith agree, it rushes forth to obey. Faith is the electricity that turns imagination into reality. Without faith, imagination remains a beautiful picture, but lifeless, a dream suspended in thought. Faith breathes life into the unseen. It gives motion to the still. It tells the universe, this is not a wish, this is truth. The entire law of supply and abundance rests upon faith, because faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the unseen power that commands all forms of energy to align with the vibration of belief. When you have faith, you do not beg or plead, you simply know. And in that knowing, creation begins to obey. Faith is not born from evidence, it creates evidence. It does not wait for proof, it becomes the proof. It does not depend on the senses, it depends on divine law. When you say, I know money flows to me, you are not hoping, you are declaring. You are standing on the solid ground of spiritual certainty, and that certainty moves mountains. People often mistake faith for blind optimism, but true faith is deep awareness that every good thing already exists in spirit, waiting to manifest through you. Faith does not try to force, it allows. Faith does not strain, it rests, because it knows that divine supply never fails. The moment you let doubt enter your mind, you break the circuit of manifestation, because doubt vibrates in contradiction to abundance. The universe responds not to words, but to vibration. You may say, I am rich, yet vibrate with fear. And the vibration cancels the words. That is why the inner feeling matters more than the outer declaration. Faith is the quiet confidence that whispers even when appearances lie, even when the path is hidden. I know the outcome is already secured. Faith does not need to see money in the hand, it feels it in the soul. And that feeling draws the physical form with magnetic certainty. Faith begins with trust in divine order, that nothing is ever lost, that every delay conceals a blessing, that the timing of the universe is perfect when things appear to go wrong. The person of faith does not collapse. They declare, this too is part of my divine unfolding. My good cannot be withheld from you. And in that calm assurance, circumstances bend toward harmony. Faith turns seeming obstacles into stepping stones, every no into a redirection, every emptiness into a preparation for overflow. Faith is the golden thread that ties chaos back into purpose. Those who live by faith understand that they are not separate from the infinite source of supply. They are extensions of it. They are channels through which divine energy flows. Money is not something to chase, it is something to allow, and allowing comes from faith in divine sufficiency. The one who has faith does not worry about where the money will come from. They know it will appear as surely as morning follows night. They walk with a calm joy that confuses the fearful, because faith lives beyond fear. It breathes in the language of certainty. It speaks in the rhythm of abundance. To build faith, you must feed it. Daily faith grows where fear is starved. Each time you choose to trust rather than panic, each time you choose gratitude over worry, your faith expands. Speak words of power daily. Even when your senses argue, say, I live in divine abundance. I am always supported, I am guided and supported by invisible hands. And though the outer may look unchanged, the inner energy shifts, and soon the outer must reflect that change, because the law cannot resist conviction. It must mirror the vibration you sustain. Faith is not loud, it is steady. It does not boast, it anchors. When storms come, faith does not run, it stands, and declares the truth of divine order. When you hold your faith unwaveringly, you command energy itself to reorganize in your favor. It may come as a sudden opportunity, a new idea, a stranger's kindness, or a door that opens where once there was none. The form is irrelevant. The law is the same. Faith magnetizes substance. Faith called forth the invisible into visible form. Faith is the hand that reaches into the unseen and brings back proof. To have faith is to live as though your desire is already done, to thank before receiving, to celebrate before arrival, to walk in joy before the evidence appears. This is the vibration that draws the miracle, because the universe always matches emotion, not circumstance. When you feel gratitude for abundance, you are vibrating as one who has it already, and by divine law, that vibration must materialize into form. It cannot fail because it is law. Do not confuse faith with effort. Effort comes from fear that you must make things happen. Faith comes from knowing that things are already happening through you. Faith acts, but it acts with calm, inspired movement, not desperation. It does not chase opportunity, it attracts it. Faith listens and responds to inner guidance, while fear rushes. Faith waits. Wisdom, knowing that divine timing never delays nor hastens, but always arrives in perfect sequence. When you live by faith, your steps are guided, your path is smoothed, your needs are met often before you even ask. So let faith become your atmosphere. Let it saturate your thoughts, your speech, your imagination. Let it rise in you until it becomes your nature. For the person who lives in faith cannot be shaken. Their supply cannot be cut off. Their destiny cannot be denied, because faith is union with divine law. And divine law never fails. When you move in that vibration, money finds you effortlessly. Doors open naturally, and life unfolds in grace and order. For faith is the invisible hand of God turning the unseen into the seen. The law of attraction responds not to your words, but to your vibration, to what you truly believe and feel beneath the surface of your thoughts. When you align your energy with abundance, money does not need to be chased. It simply finds its way to you effortlessly, like a river finding the ocean. The magnetic pull of your inner state draws every resource, every opportunity, every connection you need, because energy seeks its likeness. The outer world always mirrors the vibration you hold within. When you live in harmony with the frequency of wealth, life begins to arrange itself in your favor. Most people misunderstand this law. They try to force results while still vibrating lack. They say, I want abundance, but deep inside they are rehearsing fear and worry every time you think of debt or hardship with emotion. You are sending out a frequency of lack, and the universe obediently echoes it back. That is why change must begin on the inside. To align your energy with abundance, you must first feel abundant, not when money comes, but before it comes. You must begin to think, feel, and act from the consciousness of plenty, not from the consciousness of absence. The energy of abundance is calm. It is confident. It is grateful. It does not rush or grasp. It trusts the divine flow to deliver at the perfect moment. You align with it through gratitude and faith by focusing your attention on what you already have and blessing it, rather than complaining about what you lack. Gratitude is the bridge between scarcity and prosperity. When you give thanks for the smallest blessing, you amplify its vibration, and the universe multiplies it. You cannot receive more while resenting what you already hold. So bless your money, no matter how little. Bless your bills, for they represent the flow of energy. Bless every exchange as proof that circulation is alive in your world. Energy alignment also means releasing resistance. Resistance is that inner tension that says, I must have this or I will suffer. It is the fear that blocks the current like a rock in a stream. The moment you let go, the current resumes its natural flow. Release attachment to outcome and trust that divine timing knows what you do not. When you say, I trust the process, you dissolve resistance. When you say, I am guided by divine wisdom, you open the way for synchronicity. When you rest in faith, the energy around you becomes smooth and magnetic, and money begins to flow toward you through channels you could never have planned. Your thoughts are currents, your emotions are magnets. Your beliefs are the command center of your energetic field. If you constantly affirm lack, your vibration grows heavy. If you affirm wealth, joy, generosity, your vibration rises and draws in experiences that match it. That is why it is said that the rich become richer, not because of privilege alone, but because their vibration is one of expectation and certainty. They believe in the flow, and the flow responds likewise. Shift your belief from struggle to ease, from doubt to knowing, and you will witness your outer life rearrange itself like iron filings to a magnet. Surround yourself with the energy you wish to attract. Think of your environment, your speech, your music, your company. Every influence carries frequency. Spend time in gratitude and beauty. Speak affirmations of abundance. Listen to words that lift rather than drain you. Visualize prosperity, not as a distant dream, but as a present vibration. Feel the texture of ease in your body. Breathe it into your heart. Imagine light expanding from within you, touching everything you own and everything you desire, until the boundaries between the two dissolve completely. For when you vibrate as one who already has, you become irresistible to the manifestation of that state. To align with abundance, you must also practice generosity. Forgiving is the highest form of receiving. It declares to the universe that you live in sufficiency. When you give from love, even a small gift, you affirm there is always more where that came from, and that belief magnifies your vibration. Hoarding contracts energy, but giving expands it. Each act of kindness, each offering of value releases new channels of supply to flow back to you. Multiplied, it is divine circulation at work. The same principle that governs breath. The inhale cannot exist without the exhale. Abundance cannot exist without flow. Be mindful also of your self-talk, because it shapes your vibration. The universe hears every I am that you utter. Say, I am prosperous, I am aligned, I am magnetic to wealth. And feel those words in your body. Say them not to force belief, but to awaken the truth already within you. For abundance is your natural state. The struggle is learned, the separation is illusion. You were born in harmony with infinite supply. And to remember this truth is to return to power. The universe has never stopped giving, only your energy can block the reception. When your energy is aligned with abundance, you move through life with a quiet assurance. You make decisions from intuition, not fear. You attract ideas that expand rather than restrict, and people who vibrate with opportunity begin to appear. It is not coincidence, it is alignment. Everything that resonates with your frequency begins to orbit your field like planets around a sun. This is not magic, it is law. When you vibrate abundance, abundance must reflect itself in your experience. It has no choice, for energy follows frequency. And the one who masters their vibration becomes the master of circumstance. So train your energy daily as you would train your body. Begin each morning by entering the feeling of wealth. Breathe deeply, feel peace within. Say thank you for the blessings already unfolding. Carry that vibration through your day. When challenge appears, do not collapse into fear. Return to alignment. Say all is well, all is unfolding in divine order. And soon you will notice that the flow never truly stopped. It was only your vibration that shifted. When you stay aligned long enough, the world bends toward your energy, and money, like every form of good, begins to find you easily, effortlessly, inevitably. The vibration of money is the vibration of flow and receptivity. Money is energy, pure and simple. It moves where it feels welcome and withdraws where fear and resistance dwell to attract it. You must become a vessel that vibrates with openness, gratitude, and confidence. The same way a river seeks the path of least resistance, money flows toward harmony, not tension. When you feel anxious about money, when you cling to it or fear its absence, you create energetic walls that block its movement. But when you release fear and trust in divine order, the current of abundance returns like the tide coming home. Every thought you think about money sends out a frequency into the universe. If you think of money as scarce or hard to earn, you lower your vibration and align with struggle. If you think of money as limitless and divinely supplied, you raise your vibration and align with ease. The universe does not respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you truly believe in the core of your being. That belief is not held in your conscious mind, but in your vibration. It is the silent signal you emit every moment, and it determines what you attract. That is why people who feel rich even when they have little seem to draw prosperity effortlessly, while those who feel poor, no matter how much they have, remain in lack. To change your vibration, you must first become aware of it. Listen to the way you speak about money. Notice the emotions that arise when you spend or receive. Does it bring tension or joy? When you bless money, you lift its frequency. When you curse it, you lower yours. Every time you say money flows easily to me, you open a new channel for that flow. Every time you worry, you close one. Gratitude and joy are high vibrations. Fear and doubt are low. The law of attraction simply mirrors these states without judgment. Your task is to live more often in the higher ones. One of the fastest ways to raise your vibration is through gratitude, not the mechanical kind, but the heartfelt recognition that you are always cared for. Thank the universe for every coin, every opportunity, every unexpected blessing. Say thank you before you receive, not after, because gratitude in advance signals faith, and faith is the highest frequency there is. When you give thanks for invisible blessings, you call them into visibility. Your vibration becomes a beacon to which abundance cannot resist responding. Another key is relaxation. Tension blocks flow. Energy of money loves lightness, joy, playfulness, and creativity. When you relax into trust, new ideas come to you, inspiration flows, and actions feel effortless. That is the vibration of abundance. Those who live in ease attract more because their vibration says, I am safe, I am guided, I am supported. And the universe answers accordingly. The more you relax, the more magnetic you become. Worry and desperation push things away. Calm certainty draws them in, because energy follows. Peace, music, words, movement all affect vibration. So surround yourself with what uplifts you. Listen to sounds that inspire. Speak affirmations that empower. Move your body with gratitude for the life force within you. Vibrational alignment is not a one-time practice. It is a state of being you cultivate daily. Each time you choose joy over fear, each time you choose to see opportunity rather than limitation, you raise your frequency, and the outer world mirrors that inner decision. Forgiveness also raises vibration, because resentment binds you to low energy. When you forgive yourself for financial mistakes and forgive others for any wrongs, you free up blocked energy, and that released energy becomes new circulation. Money to flow back to you. Bitterness closes the heart, and money flows through the heart, not the head. The open heart attracts because it vibrates love, and love is the highest currency in existence. Your vibration is shaped by your focus. Whatever you consistently give attention to grows. If you focus on what is missing, you strengthen lack. If you focus on what is working, you strengthen abundance. This is not denial of reality. It is mastery of energy. What you focus on becomes your reality. So choose your attention as carefully as you would choose your investments. Invest thought in beauty, gratitude, Generosity and peace in those investments will yield returns greater than any market could promise. The vibration of money is also connected to purpose. When your actions are aligned with what brings value to others, your energy expands, and money becomes a natural response of that expansion. Money loves purpose because purpose carries momentum and enthusiasm. When you serve with joy, you radiate abundance, and abundance rushes to join its reflection. That is why those who work with love rarely struggle for supply, for their vibration is already one with the source of all supply. Every day, you are broadcasting energy into the world, and life faithfully returns the equivalent of that signal. If you vibrate fear, you meet scarcity. If you vibrate joy, you meet opportunity. The law cannot fail. Its accuracy is perfect. Therefore, make your vibration your highest priority, not your worry, not your plan, not your schedule, but your energy. When you wake, align yourself with gratitude. When you work, infuse your actions with joy. When you rest, release all tension and trust in divine flow. When you do this long enough, the outer circumstances must change. They have no choice, for vibration is cause and matter, effect, and the one who holds a steady vibration of abundance will always find that money in all its forms comes to them naturally, inevitably, and abundantly. The moment you awaken to your divine connection with the source of all wealth, you realize that money was never separate from you. It was never something outside to be chased or begged for. It was an energy always available within the vast current of creation, waiting for your alignment. The divine source that breathes life into stars also breathes prosperity into you. You are made of that same energy, and therefore you are inherently abundant. When you begin to think, feel, and act from this awareness, money becomes a natural extension of your spiritual identity, not an achievement, but a reflection of who you truly are. This divine source is infinite. It never withholds, it only flows, and the only thing that can interrupt that flow is belief in separation. When you think you are alone, struggling in a world of limitation, you close yourself off from that infinite supply. But when you know that you are one with the creative force that governs the universe, lack becomes an impossibility. You cannot be cut off from what you are one with. You can only forget it. Awakening to your divine connection is remembering that abundance is your birthright, and that you live not by luck or chance, but by divine law. Money is one of the many ways through which divine energy expresses itself. It is not evil or corrupt. It is neutral, pure potential that takes the shape of your consciousness when your thoughts are rooted in love, gratitude, and service. Money flows in harmony with those vibrations. When your thoughts are filled with fear and scarcity, money reflects that confusion. The universe mirrors back the energy you send forth, and the more you align with love and faith, the more that mirror shines with evidence of abundance, because divine law responds not to need but to belief. To connect with divine source, you must quiet the noise of fear and open the channel of faith through prayer, meditation, gratitude, or stillness. You remind yourself of your unity with all creation. In that stillness, you feel the pulse of divine intelligence that knows exactly what you need, and when you need it, you begin to sense that the supply you seek is already moving toward you through unseen channels, perhaps through ideas or people or unexpected opportunities. But the essence of it is already complete. The moment you align your consciousness with divine abundance, you summon that completion into form. When you walk in divine connection, your perspective on money changes completely. It ceases to be something you labor for and becomes something that flows through you as easily as breath. You no longer think of getting, you think of giving. You become a vessel through which divine substance circulates. You receive in order to give, and you give in order to receive. Forgiving and receiving are two sides of the same divine rhythm. When you bless others with your words, your work, your kindness, you multiply your own blessings, because you are acting as a channel of divine supply, and that supply never runs dry. There is a sacred truth that whatever you acknowledge as divine in your world expands. When you look at your work and say, "This is divine service," it prospers. When you look at your money and say, "This is divine substance," it multiplies. When you look at your body and say, "This is divine life," it strengthens, because divine recognition awakens divine expression. Everything you touch with faith responds with vitality and growth. That is why it is said, That gratitude is the language of the divine, because in gratitude you see God in all things. And when you see the divine in money, you release all fear of it and allow it to serve its rightful purpose. Trust is the evidence of connection. The one who trusts in divine order no longer fears tomorrow. They know the source of supply cannot be exhausted. They walk in calm expectation that their needs are met before they even arise, and that the universe delights in their prosperity. This trust dissolves anxiety, it opens the heart, and clears the channels through which abundance flows. Those who doubt delay their blessings, those who trust draw them closer. Faith is the invisible thread that keeps you aligned with the current of divine provision. You align with divine source also through joy, for joy is the vibration of harmony with creation. When you are joyful, you are receptive. When you are heavy or you are closed, joy says, I am in tune with my purpose. I am open to receive all that is mine. Joy magnetizes every good thing because it is the signature of divine alignment. Cultivate joy through simple gratitude, through presence, through service, through laughter. For joy not only attracts money, it attracts life in its fullness. When you truly live in the awareness of your divine connection, you become fearless because you understand that the same power that governs the galaxies governs your affairs. The same intelligence that orchestrates the tides orchestrates your opportunities. The same abundance that fills the universe fills your path. You no longer plead for supply, you command it through faith. You no longer chase money, you attract it through alignment. Your outer world becomes the reflection of your inner certainty and prosperity.